Greetings, peace and blessings. Come on in, y'all. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Y'all know I gotta be fashionably late. I'm sorry if it irritated your soul today, but y'all, I know the enemy is busy. That's all I got to say. He is busy. Every time I get ready to come and utter a good word or spread some information, that the opposition don't like, then I always seem to have some obstacles. But I was built for this, right? I was built for this. Let's go, let's go. Peace and blessings to everybody coming in, coming in, come on in, come on in. We're gonna talk about giving a damn today. We're gonna talk about giving a damn. Peace and blessings, cutting edge. Come on in, come on in. I'm so glad to see everybody here. I am here. I am well. I don't care what I've gone through today. I have been blessed. I am well. All is well. And we're going to get through it, right? And I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what your obstacles look like. I don't care what the picture look like. I don't care what the vision look like. I don't care about none of that. What I care about is how do we respond? How do we react to the situation? Because guess what? It's a test. It is a test. Best believe, especially if it makes you feel uncomfortable, it makes you feel uneasy, you don't like it, it's out of the norm, you're being stretched, you are being tested. And this young lady said it better than I could say it. And I want her to introduce the live stream and to bring us up into what we're going to and just kind of delve into during this live, right? We need balance. We need balance in our lives. We need peace. We need some calm in that balance, that pendulum. We can't have it swinging too far to one direction and not the other, because then our lives become imbalanced. Case in point, I rolled on my ankle about a week ago, stepped on a rock. When I tell you I went down, I went down. And it took about 6 days for my ankle to be purple and blue. Okay, I said it right, purple and blue. And it's been swollen. Okay, I haven't elevated it and iced it as regularly as I should have or maybe could have, because I live a busy lifestyle. I don't let things slow me down if I can help it. I persevere through it. But my point being in saying that is that I got to go see a chiropractor because it has thrown me. I've been limping for 6 days and everything's off. My equilibrium is off. My balance is off. I got tweaks and twitches on one side of my body, on the other side of the body. Just stuff that shouldn't really be happening, but I understand why. Point in case, if we don't have balance and that pendulum and the weight weighs too much on one side instead of the other, it's going to throw things out of whack, right? So, peace and blessings. Come on in, come on in. Mr. Kimmy, I want to say, oh, I just love your wonderful energy. You're always balanced. Oh, speaking of balance, right? Ooh, child, it's a challenge. And I don't always get it right. I'm telling you, I have some days where balance is not even in my vocabulary. Okay. But today I am intentional about making sure that I'm aware and cognizant of balance. Hope you make all the sense in the world. You make more sense than at this point, right? You need to get x-rays, make sure your ankle's not broken, because I did the same thing for like 5 days, walking, limping on a broken ankle and didn't know. Okay, I have an appointment. I do have an appointment and I can't get in unless I go to like an emergency room until early next week. This has actually happened to me before. And I've had a broken bone. So it could be fractured. I'm not ruling anything out, especially at my age, but I will say that I definitely I receive it, and I have already we agree. We definitely agree because I am going to get it checked out. Definitely. So I appreciate your concern, Kitchen Close. Thank you. And a lot of times we don't be wanting to go to no doctors. We be like, oh, it'll heal this and that and the other, but we don't want to for things to heal incorrectly and to make a bad situation worse. So I totally agree with you. And yes, thank you so much for caring and for giving me that suggestion. I appreciate it. I want to get off into this because this woman's energy just moved me, and I will probably play this more than once, okay? But I do want to start this off by playing it now. Come on in, come on in.
I just want to tell you that you matter. Yeah. No long poem or anything. I felt like you need to know that. You're important and stuff. Go tell somebody that you matter and that you deserve to be loved. Okay.
Amen.
All right. Okay, bye.
Her energy, her sincerity, and the belief that she has in order to be able to convey that to anybody else. That matters too, because you can't convince me of something that you're not operating in yourself. Okay? We gonna hear that one more time.
I just want to tell you that you matter. Yeah. No long poem or anything. I felt like you need to know that. You're important and stuff. Go tell somebody that you matter and that you deserve to be loved. Okay. All right. Okay, bye.
He said, okay, bye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Peace over chaos. Peace over chaos. Living life on your terms. Mastering emotional control. Peace over chaos. Now, I will say this. A certain amount of chaos is necessary for us to appreciate and embrace peace. But we don't want to allow chaos to become the dominant over peace. We don't want it to dominate peace to where it snuffs it out. And then when we do get peace, we don't appreciate it. We don't appreciate it. We don't value it. We don't put into it what we should. Because now we're in survival mode and we're so accustomed and have become so accustomed to chaos that when peace shows up, we don't even recognize it anymore. I'm speaking from experience, which is why I can say this with passion, with clarity, because I understand the difference between peace and chaos. One of the things that brings me peace is not giving a damn about other people's opinions over my life. It has taken me, and it's still a work in progress, many moons and many years for God to reveal to me my purpose. So if I've been walking around for several decades and have been unclear at times about my purpose, what makes you more qualified to tell me what my purpose is? To give me advice on what my purpose is? To advise me as to what my purpose is? Now, there's nothing wrong with people that care about you, that have your best interests at heart. And this is all my opinion based off of my personal experiences, but I speak with certainty because it is my experience, right? Now, when it comes to my peace and my purpose, they coincide. Because once I found out what my purpose was, my peace came with that. So every bumpy road and every obstacle that I came across, guess what? Guess what? I was able to sit in my peace because I understood my purpose. Okay? So when I talk about mastering emotional control, your purpose is being laser focused on your goals. When you are not easily distracted or taken off of your course, and you can't shake it, if you can't sleep with it, if it costs you sleep, if it costs you peace, no matter what you're doing, those thoughts surface. They enter to your brain at the most random times, under the most random situations and circumstances, at the most awkward moments. Guess what? You need to be paying attention to that. Bloop. You need to be paying attention to that. I see you, Biz. We got Robert Marbury. What's going on with you? Hey, Robert. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you for coming through. I got you. I got you. I got you. So I'm going to drop the link. And what I'd like for you to do is hit the link and type your information to me in the back chat. Okay, hold on one second. This is the first time I'm really doing it for that reason, but we're going to do it anyway. So I got you too. Okay, peace and blessings. Thank you so much. So when we talking about not giving a damn, because that's going to be my default, is not giving a damn so much about, at least not giving a damn more of what somebody else is proclaiming over your life, opposed to you knowing what you need to be doing, knowing the course that your life needs to be going. I don't have time for other people's opinions over my life if it's not feeding me, if it's not nourishing me, if it's not reinforcing what I already know. And another link in order to not giving a damn about other people and what their opinions are over your life is knowing thyself. For many of us, that takes a lifetime. For many of us, that takes a lifetime. If you're blessed enough to get it early, don't spit on the blessing. Embrace it. Okay? So what you do is you type in the back chat, in the private chat. I think yep. And we good, Robert, we good. So when I speak on, put your number in there too, babe, okay? When we speak on the power of not giving a damn, we can't do that if we do not know thyself. If we are not in tune with thyself. We cannot know thyself without some type of spiritual relationship with an outside source that connects to the inside of us. Okay? I need for that to register, because if you go out of order, you're going to get the out of order results, right? So when we speak of the power of not giving a damn, we have to recognize and understand that it is, for many of us, you got some people that are born out the womb with not giving a damn about nothing, including themselves. But for many of us, in order to do it in its proper order, with its proper context, it takes time. It takes error. It takes falling and getting up. It takes difficulties. It takes what it takes. Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to tell the uncomfortable truths about who you are, where you are, and what you need to do in order to progress and improve what you have going on? Are you willing to tell the truth about everything that is associated and connected with thyself? Because we can say all day, and I'm very leery and very just I'm leery of people that are constantly reiterating the same things over and over and over again. So if you always telling me I don't give a damn, I don't care, I don't give a F, that ain't my problem. I don't care what nobody say about me. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. And if you're constantly, you really are trying to convince, in my opinion, yourself more than you trying to convince me. Say less. I go off of behavior and actions. Your words, if they don't align with how your walk is going, then your words are weightless to me. So those that constantly have to reassure people that they don't, most of the time, they don't even know, they'll never meet, they don't invest in, those people haven't invested into them. I'm not trying to convince strangers of anything. And I'm selective about the people in my life that I feel like I got to prove something to. I'm very selective about that. My point being is that it's going to show in your behavior. I'm leery of people that are always having to repeat themselves and try to reassure me that, because basically the way I take it is you're trying to convince me, but your actions are telling me a different story, right? So I definitely thank you for all that's coming into the stream. If you would just tap the like button, I would appreciate it. For those that may not be subscribed, if you would consider subscribing, memberships are always available. And I think the link to the memberships at the top is pinned. Get all of the housekeeping out of the way. I didn't set a goal, but definitely I think there are super chats or messages. So if you want anything highlighted, feel free to, I'm going to pay attention to it, because the chat, if I get in my bag, which I feel like I'm going there, during this live stream, I may or may not see your messages and your comments, right? And don't take it personal. So I do want to focus and zoom in on the difference between being confident and being cocky. Okay, because there is a level of self-positivity and self-confidence that is required, that is absolutely required for you to get to the point where you don't give a damn and you understand the power of not giving a damn, especially if it hinders your walk, if it hinders your peace, if it hinders or obstructs your path of where your spiritual life has told you to go and directed for you to go, right? So I have to be definitely leery of my verbiage, because people will tend to take things out of context and kind of apply their own narrative to it. But I don't want that to happen, because you're going to miss the gems. You're going to miss the power. You are going to miss the sincerity of me sharing bits and pieces of my walk, so you don't have to go through what I've gone through. Or if it's designed for you to go through that, you can minimize it, the effects, the negative effects, by understanding it sooner than later, so you can move on to the next level that God has assigned you to, if that makes sense. So thank you, Robert Marber. Thank you for becoming a new member. Salute to Robert for becoming a new member. I appreciate y'all. We got my mods in the building. We got the chat jumping. We got Miss Chicago, Billy Daves. We got Salaya, Big Yon in the building. Always good to see y'all. Riders for Life is in the building. Listen to my mods. If we have content creators in the chat, please feel free to drop their links. If somebody would drop Riders for Life and Biz's links in the chat. Let me see. I know we got Kitchen Clothes Podcast, if I'm not mistaken, also has a page. Cutting Edge, if you would drop your link as well, or somebody else would drop, whoever is a content creator that's active in the chat, feel free at all times to please. I don't know if Salaya has a page that's active or not, but excuse me, if you do, please drop the links in the chat. We support one another over here. Period, point blank. People are always supporting me. Even if you're just greeting me in somebody else's chat and you say, great live, Mr. Kimmy, that's promotion, that's support, right? So we want to make sure that we support one another over here, okay? Now, I do want to, because I'll get long-winded on you, right? But I got a few video clips that I definitely felt compelled to share with you. And there is one, since we're talking about purpose, there is one clip I want to share with you to accent the point of being on purpose, and that it is not for us. Let's go.
A plum tree don't eat plums.
Listen to this.
A pear tree don't eat pears. All they get is water, because the fruit ain't for the tree. The fruit is for people who pass by. Your gift ain't for you, which is why you can be depressed at home and be on the phone giving other people a word that'll flip their life. Have you ever hung up the phone like, I should have told myself that? It's because your gift, Michael, ain't for you. Watch this. Wisdom is.
Ooh, and he ended it with that. We're going to put that on repeat. So in case I get copyrighted for the music, we're going to clip it all out at the same time. But if you live, you catching it now. Let's go. I want to hear that again. Listen, the fruit ain't for the tree. The water is for the tree. The fruit is for the people going by that's picking up the fruit off of the ground. It's for everybody but the tree. Okay?
A plum tree don't eat plums.
Listen to this.
A pear tree don't eat pears. All they get is water, because the fruit ain't for the tree. The fruit is for people who pass by. Your gift ain't for you, which is why you can be depressed at home and be on the phone giving other people a word that'll flip their life. Have you ever hung up the phone like, I should have told myself that? It's because your gift, Michael, ain't for you. Watch this. Wisdom is.
The wisdom. It's the wisdom that's the outcome. It's the wisdom that speaks forth. It's the wisdom that molds us and puts us into a situation and a position to learn from, to make our walk that much more purposeful, that much more intentional, that much more clear, right? So when he talks about the water is for the tree. The fruit that the tree bears is not for the tree. The tree served its purpose by bearing the fruit, by getting what it needed from the water. But the fruit is for those that need it at the time that they walk past the tree and they pick it up. You're going to recognize the fruit and you're going to connect with the fact that, this resonates with me. This resounds with me. You're going to know if you walk past a tree that's got rotten fruit, you're going to keep it pushing. You might even hold your nose depending on what kind of fruit it is. You might be swatting away flies and gnats. But if the fruit is viable and it's in its original state for its original purpose, you're going to connect with it at the time, and it's going to resonate with you. So listen, when we talk about being on purpose and walking in a, excuse me, y'all, I ate some Thai food and it's got me going, okay? You have to detach. We have to detach to a certain level. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be transparent. I have a tribe and I have a family of people. I know so many people. I mean, I'm in my 50s, right? So over the years, I'm one of those people that I'm loyal. And I attract loyal people, especially if you make it to my tribe. So with my tribe, I got a lot of time in with folk, right? So I'll go sometimes 6 months, 4 months, a year, depending on how front row you are in my life. And I don't do it intentionally, but there have been some relationships that I've had over the years to where I had adopted the mindset of guilt, because they were like, why you don't call, or why you don't come and visit, or why does it take so long for you to connect? Why this, why that? And I really didn't have an answer. But I'm at a point in my life where, because I am on purpose, I have settled myself. I have settled myself into, instead of feeling guilty, I'm sure. Now, if you are to remain a person in my tribe, you may not like it, but you will understand. You will respect it. If I lead with respect and I get respect in return, then we have a viable relationship. When we do talk, when we do connect, when we do lay eyes on one another, we build. We add value, we feed off of one another. That's how you remain a part of my tribe. But one thing that I no longer do is I no longer walk around with guilt. I address it with transparency and say, my plate is full. I have the life, and I've had the pleasure of having the life where my plate has always been full. But I haven't always handled it the way that I handle it now, because my vision wasn't always as clear as it is now. It's nothing personal. Your opinion of me is personal to you, but God's purpose for my life and my obedience and the reliance upon my obedience is my concern. God got you just like he got me. It's not up to me to mind your business. It's not up to me to placate to you. It's not up to me to soothe you. It's not up to me to make sure we good all the time. If I am implementing and utilizing my foundational principles that attracted you to my tribe in the first place, if I am consistent, I am the same, it is heartfelt, it is genuine, you gonna know it. Then I won't have to continuously explain myself, as we were just talking about. I'm not no longer trying to convince people that I am who I say I am, when my walk displays who I am. I am consistent in my walk. I am consistent in implementing and utilizing my foundational principles. Being a mother has helped me do that tremendously, because you only get one shot with these children. These children ain't got no understanding when you're not consistent. They don't have no understanding because they watching your behavior. Animals, Same thing. Watch your behavior depend highly on your consistency. They depend on you demonstrating regularly that you are who you say you are. And if you fluctuate with that, it's going to be a problem. Now you done piqued their attention. Now they're looking for more inconsistencies. And those are problems you do not want, right? Not to get too far off topic, but there was a excerpt that I read recently, and it was speaking on when you bring into alignment your purpose, your confidence, your spirituality, and your self-worth. We cannot dismiss self-worth. I think that should be first. Because if you don't value thyself, you can't value nobody else. And when relationships are reciprocal, they can't value you. All of those components take work. They take accountability. They take you acknowledging that you are in a growth process. These things matter. Now, when you walk around and you talk about, okay, I don't care. I don't give a damn about what none of them are talking about. If you lack enough self-worth, you're going to find yourself repeating that over and over again, because the person you're trying to convince the most of that is you, not the other person. When I say that there is power in not giving a damn, I don't mean that in a malicious way, but we live in such a society and a culture where everybody got an opinion. Everybody got something to say. Everybody got something that they feel you should know what they're thinking and what they believe. The first thing that I propose you do for those that do that is look at the level of their transparency. If they have some transparency, then look at their situation and their walk and how they're moving. Do those words echo the behavior? If the words don't echo the behavior, then the words should fall not, in my opinion. If it does echo the behavior, then further investigation and further thought processes should be applicable to that person and why. Shout out to Miss Yo. She's always asking, and so am I, why? Why is this person feeling so convicted in placing their opinion or their suggestions upon my life when they got their own life to deal with? What does their life look like behind closed doors that they have the time, the energy, and the wherewithal to correct somebody that they're not directly connected to? And I say that loosely because that could mean differently for many people. When I say that there is power in not giving a damn, the one question that I ask myself is, what is it costing me? What is it costing me? Is it costing me my peace? Is it costing me my sanity? Is it costing me my balance? Is it costing me my focus? Because they have no clue what my focus should be. No more than I do. So is it costing me my focus? Depending on what the answers to those questions are, then you can draw your conclusion as to how much those words weigh upon you making decisions for yourself, right? Speaking of self-confidence, my girl Ayanla got something to say. Hello.
Stop acting like there's anything wrong with you. Live your life like you are the baddest bee on the planet. Live like that. Stop reminding yourself that somebody left you, somebody cheated on you, somebody betrayed you. Because as long as you have that in your consciousness, you will continue to attract that. So live your life like there's not a damn thing wrong with you. If you a size 16, live your life like you a size 10. You a size 10, live your life. Look at me. I ain't living my life like I'm 72.
Yes.
Okay? Live your life. Stop picking on yourself. Live your life like there's nothing wrong. And if you step into that, everything that needs to be cleaned, healed, released, surrendered will come to the surface. If you step into the vision you have of yourself, the things you need to let go of, the things you need to release, surrender, forgive, whatever, they'll come to the surface. When they come to the surface, do the work, let it go, and then go back into your best vision of yourself. We spend too much time focusing on the brokenness, focusing on what's wrong. That keeping it in your consciousness attracts more of it to you. You understand? You got an ex, bless the ex. And if someone shows up that looks like that, sounds like that, smells like that, bless them and go in the other direction. Can I give you?
That was a mouthful. One of the things that struck me from the word go was recognizing her self-worth. And that was the message she wanted to send. Act like you the baddest bee or man on the earth. You can't automatically do that unless you are walking in a path that allows you to do that. When we talk about self-worth, we have to build a strong positive image of ourselves. But we can only do that based off of good behavior. Based off of behavior that is in alignment, that propels us to value thyself. There is no way we can value somebody else more than we can value us. Self-love is super important. Self-love is required in order to establish self-confidence, which supersedes the opinions of others, which gives them less power over us. When thyself is straight. Shout out to Dimple D. Thank you for coming through, sis. Thank you. This message ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't gonna receive this. Everybody ain't looking for it. And everybody ain't gonna be able to connect with the message that is intended for a specific purpose. But if it reaches one person today and it helps propel you to change the trajectory of the mindset, because Lord knows there was a long time I had what they call stinking thinking. Didn't understand the power of my mouth or the words that came forth from my mouth. I was in a pity pot and I was like, my mouth reflected that. And then what reinforced it was that when those words I uttered came true or were reinforced by the outcomes and the results, it fortified me being a victim. It fortified me feeling sorry for myself. Let me tell you something. Words have power. When I changed my words, my life changed. But I couldn't change my words without first addressing the source of where those words were coming from. I couldn't change it. And let me tell you, it was a process, because once I started to really pay attention, I was like, ooh, I'm doing that a lot. I don't like that. But I had to hold myself accountable in order to even acknowledge, much less change the behavior, which changed the words that came forth. I had to do all of that. That was a process. That's like going out in gardening, and you gotta dig. You gotta get down into the dirt. You got to do the dirty work before you can even plant the seeds. First, you got to figure out what kind of soil you're dealing with, so you'll know how to tend to the soil. So you'll figure out or learn what will thrive in the soil. If it won't thrive, then what do I need to do with the soil to make it thrive? So this is all a process even before you plant seeds. That's when they talk about putting houses on solid foundations. I lived in Florida for some years, and there was a lot of areas around the beaches where people tried to get permits. They would buy the land, but they couldn't get the permits because the foundation wasn't solid enough for any insurance company to insure them building on that rocky or that foundation that was not solid. We got to address what the root of the issue is. If you got to deal with past traumas, we all got trauma. Make no mistake about it. Every last one of us has trauma. How do you deal and cope with the trauma so you can utilize it, flip it to work to your advantage instead of to your disadvantage, to where it doesn't affect just you, but everybody connected to you? Woe to you that have kids or family members that you are responsible for, that you have to interact with, that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, that are catching everything you are throwing because you don't know how to deal with what you got going on. Why? A lot of times it's because you refuse to sit down and say, you know what? At the end of the day, I am responsible for the decisions I make. I am responsible for who I am today at this moment. And I am responsible for the things that are coming out of my mouth. Words have power. Words manifest your reality. So if you are always walking around negative, and you always walking around throwing curses out there, because that's what they are. You're cursing yourself. You're cursing those that you speak upon. But it's going to affect you more than it's going to affect anybody else, because it's coming from your mouth. This message isn't for everybody, but it is for the people that are still here. Because I know Damn D, shout out to Damn D. Damn D say he feel like I'm chastising, or that I am, he got to go clean his room. We got to make sure everything he doing the right thing. And this and that and the other. I caught that. But that's who I am. At this season of my life, we don't have time to keep sugarcoating things and buffering things, because we have so many people out here that aren't emotionally equipped to handle the truth in that raw of a fashion. I lead with love. I lead and end with respect. But the truth is the truth at the end of the day. And as Kwame Brown says, the truth can't be disrespected. It is what it is. If this resonates with you, instead of getting mad at the messenger, take a look at thyself and start there. That would be in your best interest. Okay? So, the power of not giving a damn. We are living in a world full of distractions. The enemy is a master at providing distractions. And the enemy, though is not all powerful, the enemy is powerful enough to watch behavior to be able to determine what people's triggers are based off of our past behavior. When we speak on mindset, that causes an emotional chain reaction. When I spoke on detachment a little bit earlier, detachment helps and assists in emotional intelligence. Not just emotional intelligence, but in patience, building that muscle, wisdom, accumulating enough experiences in life to where you can say you have some wisdom. And it allows you to navigate life challenges with grace. With grace. God gives us grace, but there's a certain amount of grace we have to allot for ourselves. We have to demand it and earn it with thyself. God is not going to come in and fix all of our problems without putting us through tests, trials, and tribulations. He's not. That's why we got free will. We have the free will to make our own decisions at the end of the day, no matter how much knowledge, information, biblical scripture, religion, whatever applies to you, all of that. He still is going to allow us to have free will, make our own decisions. But he's going to stretch us, test us, and allow us to be stretched and tested so we can learn, elevate, and he will allow us to be propelled to another level because God's expectations of us is high. So much so that most of us, the Bible tells you that God would never give us and put more upon us than we can bear. And I can't tell you how many times. And one of those times was during my ears are itching. I'm sorry. That's why I don't like wearing my hair down. I like wearing my hair up because I don't care. I love my hair, but I kept it short for so long because I just don't like it. It makes my ears itch. So it ain't allergies. I don't know what it is, but my ears itch. Okay. So anyway, I digress. Seems like people can't even scratch no more without being accused of one thing or another. My point, I don't want to get off topic. God will never put more upon us than we can bear, right? And the fact of the matter is that sometimes we sit back and be like, God, why you allow me to go through that? Why'd you put me through that? Or why did you permit and give the enemy, depending on what our perspective is, leverage to be able to do that to me? For so many reasons. And I'm not going to go into any or all of them, I would say. But for the context of the conversation, I want to say that God has high expectations of us, higher than we have of ourselves, because when we lack self-love of thyself, we don't set our bars or our goals higher, but the creator and the one that created us knows us better than we know ourselves. So our journey includes the walk and the ascension of us connecting, keeping him first, staying on path, and eliminating anything that is distracting us and stealing time from us, stealing our energy to where we don't have enough left over to achieve the purpose why we were put here in the first place. I just want to say this one thing to kind of caveat off of what I just said. I ask the question proverbially all the time, but I already know the answer. And the answer is, or the question is, why am I living at this time in history? Why am I living at this time with biblical prophecy manifesting at the rate that it is, with the earth and the world being documented historically and accessible for all of these centuries? Why now? Why couldn't I have been born at least like maybe even 100 years ago, 500 years ago, 2,000 years ago? Why now? And I get the same response, answer, reverberating in my spirit every single time, because you were born for a time such as this. This time that we are living in is not for the weary or the weak. And yet when you look around, we got so many of them surrounding us. Discernment. If you have discernment enough to be able to detect it and see it when you look right off the rip, or even before a person opens their mouths and you just encountered them in person, you can pick up on energy. Discernment will let you know something ain't right, or something is right with this person. You either get an okay or you'll get a red flag with discernment. It's the easiest way I know how to explain it. And what I will say is that if I was born at such a time as this, time is fleeting. Time has accelerated. I don't know about anybody else, but my days get shorter and shorter. I remember 30 years ago, I would be able to accomplish 3 times in a 24-hour period that I'm able to accomplish now. That's real talk. That's why I started using Matrix talk. I really believe for so many years, without even understanding why, that was one of my favorite movies. The Matrix was my favorite movie for about 20 years. And about 18 years in, them light bulbs started to go out. I was like, whoa. Okay, now I'm getting it, because I would watch it over and over and over again. Every time I watched it, I would gain a different type of understanding, or something that I didn't catch before, a perspective that didn't click before. Something would resonate with me that was new every time I watched it. So I watched it enough times to where now I'm like, whoa. Nah, we live in it. And I used to ask my parents, because we used to always go to the movies from when I was a little girl. And I remember I was always very inquisitive. I always had 1,000 questions for everything. Used to irritate my parents. Just all they wanted, they would take me to the movies just to shut me up, right? But then as soon as we leave the movie, I'd be like, okay, so where did the idea of that movie come from? So it took somebody to produce the movie, to produce the or make the outfits, the costumes, the production. It was an idea that originated from somewhere. And it went through so many different levels to become a production to hit the mainstream. Where did it come from? Now it's like, okay, I get it. I get it. But from a little girl, not to get off topic, I just want to say that why was I born at such a time as this? Days are shorter, nights are almost non-existent as far as sleep time goes. Everything is moving super fast. That we have to be resilient at a super fast rate. That word resilience is important as well. How long does it take for you to get back up when you knock down? Do you sit and wallow in it? We don't have the time to do that. We don't have the time nor the luxury to do that anymore. If you did at one point, those days are gone. You will get lost in the sauce. That's what I mean by minding other people's business, places, persons, and things. The power of not giving a damn is just that. It's a power. It's a power, right? So, listen. What I want to do, I don't want to go on too much longer because listen. I spit out. I know I give a lot. I know sometimes I tend to go deep. I don't want to lose too many people, right? I want to be able to address and to conversate about anything that, maybe a question, maybe something pressing upon your heart to discuss. I'm dropping the link for anybody that wants to come up. You know what? I'm going with the flow. This was more of an impromptu live because the past couple of days, that question has been really kind of set in my soul, right? It's like, why do you, or do you? And I mean it rhetorically, because personally, at this point in my life, I don't mean to sound insensitive, but if it doesn't align with my purpose and it doesn't add value to my life or bring me peace, I don't give a damn. I just don't. I can't afford to. And neither can you. Now, as I'm dropping the link, there was this video that I downloaded, and I know this may seem off topic, but it resonated with me and it got so deep. The more I watched this video, it really messed me up, right? There's this man, his sister, unbeknownst to her, videotaped him hours before he took his own life. And if it's true, it threw me. It threw me. And I'm going to show you why. You tell me what you think.
Look at
The life of the party. His sister was laughing and giggling in the background like she didn't have a clue, and she didn't. And I could see why. Either maybe she didn't know him as well as she thought she did, or maybe she missed something, or maybe he was just really good at camouflaging it and covering it up. Can you imagine the shock? There's so many different possibilities Who's to say how they came to the conclusion that he took his own life? There's a lot of people that are claim to do so and they really don't. But then there are some that absolutely fool people and shock the world when they're no longer here. And they've left a memorandum, or they've left some evidence stating how unhappy they were. And I show that and I share that because it resonates with me that he felt like he either let himself down or he let somebody else down. He cared a lot about his people, his places, and his things. We cannot allow ourselves to get to the point where all hope is lost. When I know the work is laborious, I know it's hard, I know it's a struggle. It's not easy realizing, you know what, right now I'm messed up. I am not where I should be. I'm not where I imagine myself being at this point. None of that. Yet here I am. I don't like what I see. When I speak on us being alive at this time, specifically in history, this is not by coincidence. But we cannot afford to care and to put so much weight on giving a damn about what other people think, say, or believe about us. We have to stay on purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, then that should be your first priority, and it should take precedence over everything else you have going on. Those that understand purpose and that are clear and obedient in the walk of obtaining their purpose achieve success. They achieve peace. They achieve mastering what they were put here for. So, with that said, that's all I got. That's enough. That's a mouthful. It's okay if nobody wants to hit the link. I just like to drop it just in case. We're going to close out with one more video that I thought was relevant to the topic. Let's watch.
Move is not an attack, it's actually an act of love. And there's some people who, based on their background, if somebody out of love pushes them, they feel attacked. But you've got to learn to see it that maybe they're just trying to help me to be in a better position. And you don't grow without some discomfort. Nothing grows in the comfort zone. Nothing. You have to come in and make yourself uncomfortable. There's something about discomfort that is associated with growth. You know, here's God's plan. You go from comfort to discomfort, then to greater comfort. And most people can never get to that greater comfort because they don't want to go through the corridor called discomfort. But whenever you change and lose the familiar, you must become uncomfortable. So you need people in your life who push you to become better. Pushing somebody to improve is not an attack, it's actually an act of love. And there's some people who, based on their background, if somebody out of love pushes them, they feel attacked. But you've got to learn to see it that maybe they're just trying to help me to be in a better position. And you don't grow without some discomfort. Nothing grows in the comfort zone. Nothing. You have to come in and make yourself uncomfortable. There's something about discomfort that is associated with growth. You know, here's God's plan. You go from comfort to discomfort than to greater comfort. And most people can never get to that greater comfort because they don't want to go through the corridor called discomfort.
That part. Discomfort does not always mean opposition. It means you're being stretched. It means that you're being made to tell some hard truths about where you are, your behavior, who you are, or you may be at that moment, and maybe some decisions that you have made. Do you want to continue that cycle? Do you want to change it going forward for yourself and those that you're connected to? Discomfort comes from being uneasy and being at a point that you're no longer complacent. You're no longer settled. There's a saying one of my dear friends used to always say, Mr. Kimmy, settle yourself. Settle. It was a beautiful way of her saying, calm down, but it was a deeper level. I took it. That resonated with me, that I've been saying it ever since. When I go through something, settle yourself. Ground yourself. Center yourself. Balance yourself. Reground yourself. Sit down. Which is super hard for me to do unless I'm working and sitting down at the same time. Settle yourself. Settle yourself. Settle yourself. Settle yourself. Whatever it is, it's a teachable moment. If you look at it as that, if you approach it as that, and you accept it as that, don't sit too far and too deep in your past. It's going to obstruct and prolong your progress toward your purpose. It's okay to utilize it so you can accept accountability, but don't sit in it too long. There's a saying, I think I heard Jennifer Lewis say it. She said, if you sit in your shit long enough, it don't stink no more. That's true. Come on now, let's keep it a buck. If you sit in the past too long, you get comfortable there. The discomfort and being uncomfortable comes from when you're having to accept, you know what? Yeah, I messed up there. I could have did something different there. Or I didn't make the best decision there. However, what did I learn from it? And let's implement what I learned from it moving forward. But I don't want to sit in it. I don't want to wallow in it. I don't want to sit in it long enough to where I'm a victim or I become a victim. So that's what I took from that. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all coming through. I appreciate if you listen to me for 5 minutes, if you listen to me for the duration, if I added value to anything that you have going on, it was worth my time and yours. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much. That's all I got, y'all. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Miss B. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming through. We got Dimple D in the building. We got Miss B in the building. We got Kevin Ellis. I know I saw Kevin somewhere. Big Rodney is in the building. Thank you so much. ICU TV in the building. And anybody else that I didn't acknowledge through Brother Mel Dub, I think I acknowledged you. I thought I saw We on Lock Nation. Yes. Thank you so much for coming through as well. I appreciate the links that were dropped. And yeah, let's support one another, right? I appreciate everybody. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. And with that being said, We out. Peace.